One of the largest hemp extraction plants is set to hit Jenkins. Coming up, I'm Marianne Fletcher in Letcher County, and I'll have the details.
20 counties across the Bluegrass awarded money to help clean up illegal dumps. We'll have more details coming up next.
Rain chances increase for the next couple of days. Those details now at 5:30.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The Energy and Environment Cabinet sets aside more than $1 million to help 20 counties across the Bluegrass clean up 77 illegal dumps. Breathitt County solid waste officials tell WYMT's Taylor Upchurch around $5,000 is going towards cleaning up 3 illegal dumps in their area.
We've cleaned this dump several times in the past.
Back in the day, this was just one of many places to dump trash. But let us fast forward to 2019, where it is now illegal.
You know, it's hard to get people to break old habits.
The Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet gives 20 counties a chance to pick up and start over.
It's a little disheartening sometimes.
Solid waste officials say every little bit helps because trash pickup is a never-ending cycle.
Discussion. And we just don't have the money to do this without help from some kind of other agency.
Breathitt County's $5,000 goes to 3 main illegal dumps on Town Hill Road, Fire Trail Road, and one in the Hardshell community. They hope the grant continues well after 2019.
As long as there's funding, and any time that you go to a dump or a landfill or a transfer station dispose of garbage, there's a $1.75 fee that's added onto your disposal fee, and the money from that is what pays for these grants and helps clean up the environment.
A 25% match is expected by each county, but officials say there are options.
And we try to save every dollar that we can by matching it with labor instead of money, physical money.
They ask you to find your local solid waste coordinator and find a better solution. Save your county money.
And those chemicals get into the water. You know, there's a lot of people that still have well water. That's stuff that you can end up drinking.
And it's health. In Breathitt County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
Solid waste officials say they hope to begin cleanup in either the spring or fall. A grand jury indicted a Letcher County teacher accused of raping a 14-year-old girl. This man, Chris Evans Hall, is accused of sexting and touching the girl inappropriately. Officials with the Letcher County School Board say he was a teacher at the time. He's also been accused of attempting to tamper with a witness after allegedly trying to convince the girl not to testify. A Laurel County man was arrested after deputies say he was high on drugs while banging on people's doors and screaming. Deputies say neighbors on Robert Cox Road woke up in the early hours of the morning to someone screaming outside their home. When they arrived, they say they arrested 23-year-old Tyler Honaker, pictured here. He is charged with public intoxication of controlled substances and was taken to the Laurel County Detention Center. A new business could be coming to Letcher County. The hemp business is quickly growing, and one man hopes Eastern Kentucky can take full advantage of that. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked to the mayor of Jenkins about the new business plan.
An untapped industry for Eastern Kentucky.
We're putting in the first industrial hemp extraction facility in Eastern Kentucky.
Neil Spears is the Director of Operations for East Kentucky Extractions. He says he wants to use hemp to grow the local economy.
Eastern Kentucky's my heart and my home, and I'm kind of sick of seeing everybody else get a piece of this pie, and we've been trying to get our own.
Spears is from this region. He says after the decline in the coal industry, jobs and people began to leave. He hopes to change that.
With the help of our Senator, Mitch McConnell, it's going to open up a lot of doorways for industrial hemp to be grown, to be processed, and everybody in this area can benefit from that.
Jenkins Mayor Todd DePriest says members of the company have taken the necessary steps to start the extraction plant.
Well, from talking with the different partners involved, they've hired an attorney, a CPA, negotiated a lease on the building.
But he understands the stigma which surrounds hemp.
You know, hemp brings up ideas of marijuana. It's two completely different things. It's regulated. There's a lot of laws and a lot of different pieces they have to put together to be able to use it for what it's used for.
The mayor says hemp can be used for many things, from clothing to car parts. Spears says this industry is exactly what Eastern Kentucky needs.
We're going to get the opportunity to do the things that everybody else has talked about.
Hoping to grow the economy in a new way. In Letcher County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
A representative from Mitch McConnell's office met with business leaders today to talk about the proposed plan. Neil Spears says he hopes to have the hemp extraction plant up and running by midsummer.
Well, today's story, the same story for the past 2 days. Cloudy conditions and cold temperatures here in Eastern Kentucky. Traffic moving okay, though. We could take you to Interstate 64, Rowan County. You continue to look at less light there as the sun begins to set, even though we can't see that sun. It would be nice to see some, but don't think we're going to see that at least until next week at this point. Notice UVA-wise, you could see cloudy skies, visibility doing okay. It's those cloud cover and even a few showers up to the north that we continue to watch with the flakes, the flurries, and even a few sprinkles up there near Interstate 64. It's 34 right now in Jackson, 32 in Pikeville, and 37 as you work into the Cumberland Valley. Temperatures aren't going to drop too much tonight. In fact, we'll look at an average low temperature of 32. A few locations cooler than that, a few locations slightly warmer with a 20% chance of some drizzle and flakes. For your headlines, rain chances really ramp up as we head into your Thursday. We'll get some more rain on Friday morning before a brief break. That brief break comes right before another system. That second system, Steve, could produce some snow. We'll break down those details coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. Some lawmakers in West Virginia want to use state funds to fund President Donald Trump's border wall. A proposed bill would divert $10 million from the state surplus to the project. The bill was introduced by 3 Republicans. There's no indication when the proposal would be introduced. Corbin is getting a new restaurant that's bringing more than 100 new jobs. The former Dino's restaurant off Exit 25 in Corbin will soon be a...
The other benefit is that it's filling an existing space that was at one time empty.
Now, CEO Todd Ross came to Corbin last week, and renovations are supposed to start in the next few weeks. Officials say this could lead to nearly 150 new jobs. Staff say the plan is to have the steakhouse open by April. Sears lives to fight another day. The company's chairman worked out a deal to keep hundreds of stores open. CBS's Hillary Lane spoke with relieved shoppers in Yonkers, New York.
Michael Shrelecki has been shopping at Sears for 50 years and just heard about the company's last-minute reprieve.
I think that's fantastic. That's what it's all about, keeping people working. That's what I love to see.
Sears billionaire chairman Eddie Lampert has thrown the struggling retailer a lifeline. Lampert won a bankruptcy auction with a bid of more than $5 billion. The hedge fund manager was the only buyer with plans to keep the company alive rather than liquidate the chain altogether. If the bankruptcy judge approves the plan, more than 400 Sears stores would remain open, saving tens of thousands of jobs. But analysts say the company is still facing an uphill battle.
I think the story is sort of a sad story.
Investors have been keeping a worried eye on brick and mortar stores since the rise of e-commerce.
That whole sector is obviously coming up against a lot of problems, right? Amazon is at a level that it's wiping out so much of that.
Founded more than 130 years ago, Sears was once the nation's largest retailer with 4,000 stores and devoted shoppers across the country. That includes a relieved Wilma Bryant, who shops for her extended family.
I feel good about it. My kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, I have a lot of those.
After more than a decade of declining sales, Sears may now have one last chance to turn the tide. Hillary Lane, CBS News, Yonkers, New York.
A federal bankruptcy judge will rule on Lampert's bid at a hearing later this month. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, Kia is recalling tens of thousands of vehicles. We'll tell you why in our Money Watch report.
As the government shutdown continues, unpaid TSA workers are drawing attention to their situation. I'm Robert Gray in Los Angeles. I'll tell you how they're doing it.
When you see news happening, dial star 57 or text your news tip to 5757. Service is provided by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.